Piyush Joshi, I want to ask you. आप हंस रहे हैं. I'm glad somebody's sense of humor is intact, and I hope you maintain your humor. But Piyush Joshi, I want to ask you, Trump, whether it has unified the Congress or not, difficult to say at this point in time, but it has unified India with Russia, India with China, because the Prime Minister is expected to go there. NSA is currently in Russia. This is a statement to US that we are not buckling under pressure. Our relationships with other sovereign countries will continue in India's interest. And we have given a statement saying the same, that we are not stopping buying Russian oil. If it is in India's interest and market forces determine that that oil is cheaper for us, we will buy it. Why is the Congress party making a binary? Agar Donald Trump nahi bola to you are a weak prime minister. Does it really work like that? Are we in a WWE match over here? Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul in peace, Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker. Is tariff war like that?
Navika ji, thank you so much for having me on this show. Congratulations for your felicitation. Having said that, thank you for complimenting me for my sense of humor. These are hard times to maintain the sense of humor intact. And let me tell you why. Because as a proud Indian. We have a nonsense speaking president of United States of America insulting my country day in and day out, right, left and center. He is not saying that PM Modi is a bad trade partner. He's saying India is not a good business partner. He is insulting my country. I want my chief executive officer to respond to him. I want my prime minister to develop a spine, and to find somehow his tongue, which he seems to have lost. Because it is the president of United States of America claiming that he has mediated ceasefire, then mediating the IMF's loan to the Pakistan, then Pakistan becoming the chairperson of Security Council, and now we are hailing the Prime Minister for participating in the SCO summit, where we are going to be partnering, if I'm wrong, please correct me, probably with China and Turkey, the countries we have been abusing in Operation Sindoor not so long ago. So, what are we talking about? The prime minister needs to develop a spine. He's a weak prime minister with a weak foreign policy. The foreign ministry has failed miserably. The Minister of External Affairs has no knowledge what he is dealing with. And I'm sorry to say, I think the opposition should unite, and opposition should issue a statement against Donald Trump in this particular case, because the prime minister is certainly failing to do so. United States is the biggest business partner with India. India has almost 17% of its exports going to the United States of America, and 50% tariff being imposed on a country like us. I don't know which Abda in Avsar is Prime Minister Modi looking forward to, but I am really surprised that Prime Minister, who's usually very apt at putting words, where they are required, is silent. What are his personal, I don't know about unke personal limitations kya hai, what are his personal limitations that he is failing to speak, so कौन से उद्योगपति हैं जिनकी मित्रता उनको निभानी पड़ रही है. मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला कि कौन से उद्योगपति हैं, पर सब समझ गए. ठीक है, शहजाद भी समझ गए कि कौन से उद्योगपति हैं जिनकी मित्रता उनको निभानी पड़ रही है. The Prime Minister should speak. It's high time. He should find his voice. I don't know, cat got his tongue probably.
Cat got his tongue. Oh my God. I said it too soon that he had a sense of humor. वो चला गया. Somewhere in the middle of his statement, the sense of humor went away. And heartening to see that you're almost using the same words as your long lost alliance partner, the Congress party, calling this a weak sarkar. But let me ask you, first, Sushant Sareen, who's been smiling through this entire response to respond, and then I'm coming to you, Sohail Seth. Sushant Sareen.
Yeah, Davika, at one level, the kind of stuff which I'm hearing from people like Dr. Joshi, they seem to think that, foreign affairs is the kind of fights you have on, Haryana Thekas, कि तू जानता नहीं है मैं कौन हूं, मेरा बाप कौन है, मेरी कितनी बैक है, and this proclivity in Indian politicians कि मैंने बोल दिया उसको, मैंने उसको बता दिया. अरे बता दिया फिर क्या हुआ? You are faced with a difficult situation. Your largest trade partner, a strategic partner, is behaving in an unhinged manner, in a completely unreasonable manner, and you are trying to tread a very treacherous road, because this is not just about the United States. We have been threatened, including by the EU, with sanctions if we buy Russian oil, even though the EU itself buys Russian oil. But the EU and the Americans think that the oil which India buys from Russia fuels the war in Ukraine, but the oil which the Chinese or the Europeans buy does not fuel the conflict. And if you can make sense of it, or Dr. Joshi can make sense of it, good luck to all of you. But I can't. Okay, so I am dealing in the rational framework. What is happening is in the irrational framework. Now, the leader of a particular party, and I'm not going to name that party, used to behave in the most crass manner in the assembly, right? What did it finally get him? They lost the election after 2 terms. I'm not naming the party, right? The point is that in politics, as in diplomacy, there is some maryada. You have to keep that maryada. Now, does this mean that you kowtow to Donald Trump? I don't think so. Does this mean that you act like a sissy and you give in to everything he's asking you? No. And which is what it seems like we are doing. We are holding, we have dug in our heels, we are holding on to our position. And Navika, the fact of the matter is we have offered the Americans a damn good deal. We have offered them terms and conditions which nobody ever thought India would be flexible on. And while doing so, defending and protecting the most vulnerable sections of our society who we had to protect. Now, if the other guy is changing the goalpost, and this was a done deal, Navika, we had negotiated a deal. That deal had only gone for final approval to Donald Trump, and he decided that he doesn't want any part of it. Now, whether somebody got through to him, what happened, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on somebody like him, right? But the fact of the matter is we tried to negotiate in good faith. We tried to negotiate a good deal. And we thought if he wants to be transactional, we will also be transactional. There'll be some give and some take. He wants it all. We are not going to give in. Now, this is what the position is. As far as I am concerned, right now we still have about 21 days, because I think maybe even more, maybe more than a month before these tariffs actually start kicking in. There are negotiations going on as we speak. As we speak, there are negotiations taking place. At the end of the month, apparently a US trade delegation is supposed to come. I don't know if anything is going to come out of it or not. 2 things are very clear as far as I am concerned. One, if the tariffs stay at 50%, it effectively means that India-US trade is shot to the ground. There is no India-US trade taking place. It's gone. Okay, at that point of time, the choice before the government of India is whether we impose retaliatory tariffs, to which Trump will increase the tariff from 50% to 100%. And it doesn't matter. He could raise it to 5,000%. It does not matter. If trade is not taking place at 50%, it won't take place at 100% also. So that's an academic figure, as the Chinese realized. And Trump had to back down. So quite clearly, that is one way we can go. The other way we can go is we can try and see, can we work around something? But remember that the Europeans are also breathing down our neck. And ultimately, we will now have to rejig our entire economic system, bring in economic reforms, which we have not brought in, improve your GST system, end this goddamn Inspector Raj, which is killing Indian entrepreneurship, killing Indian industry. My own take is, Navika, if I was the Prime Minister of this country, and under the current system, I would give every manufacturer in this country a Bharat Ratna. The fact that you still have industry in India is a tribute to the entrepreneurial ability of the Indian businessman and the Indian industrialist and the Indian manufacturer.
But Piyush Joshi is not in agreement with you. He's been raising his hand.
I don't
Piyush
care.
Joshi